The mystery of the bed. Once upon a time, there was a man named Tom. Tom was a bit of a worrier. He worried about big things, like his job and his family, but he also worried about little things. One night, he began to worry about something very strange. Tom had a new bed, and he was excited to sleep in it. But on the very first night, he started to feel something strange. As he lay in his bed, he felt that someone might be hiding under his bed. Tom knew it sounded silly, but he could not shake the feeling. Each night, Tom would lie down in his bed, close his eyes, and then suddenly open them. He would look all around his room and then peek under the bed. Of course, there was nothing there. But when he climbed back into bed, he started feeling strange again, as if someone was now on top of the bed with him. Tom became more and more frightened. This went on every night. Tom would get into bed, feel there was someone under it, then check and see nothing. When he climbed back up, he thought someone was now on top of his bed. He would go up and down, on and off his bed, until he was exhausted. But he could not sleep. Tom's friends noticed he was looking very tired. His best friend, Sam, said, "Tom, you have dark circles under your eyes. What's going on? Why do you look so tired?" Tom sighed and told Sam the whole story. He explained how he couldn't stop thinking there was someone under his bed, and then feeling that they were on top of the bed after he checked. Sam listened patiently, then he said, "Tom, I think you should see a doctor." Tom thought about it and agreed. He decided to go to Dr. Smith, who was a very wise and popular doctor in the town. The next day, Tom visited Dr. Smith's office. He walked in and said, "Doctor, I have a big problem. It's about my bed." Dr. Smith raised an eyebrow and smiled. "Oh? Tell me more, Tom." Tom explained everything, from the strange feeling he had on his bed to the sleepless nights. Dr. Smith listened carefully, nodding and taking notes. Finally, Dr. Smith said, "Tom, I understand. This is a very serious problem. I can help you, but you will need to come to my office 3 times a week. We will work together to find out why you feel like someone is under your bed." Tom asked, "How much will it cost?" Dr. Smith said, "Each visit will cost $100. Tom was shocked. He liked Dr. Smith, but 3 visits a week at $100 each was very expensive. "Thank you, doctor," he said. "I will think about it." Tom left the doctor's office feeling uncertain. He didn't want to pay so much money for help with his strange problem. But he also really wanted to get some sleep. That evening, Tom decided to go to his favorite place in town, a little cafe where he always felt comfortable and happy. The cafe owner, Mr. Joe, noticed that Tom looked worried and tired. "Hey, Tom," Mr. Joe said. "What's on your mind? You look like you haven't slept in weeks." Tom sighed and told Mr. Joe the whole story, just as he had told Dr. Smith. He talked about the strange feeling, the under the bed, on the bed worries, and the doctor's expensive treatment. When Tom finished, Mr. Joe smiled kindly and said, "Tom, I know how you can fix this for much less than $100 per visit." Tom was surprised. "Really? How?" Mr. Joe leaned in and whispered, "Go home, and cut the legs off your bed. Tom looked at Mr. Joe, confused at first. Then, he started to laugh. He laughed and laughed until his face turned red. It was such a simple, funny idea. That night, Tom went home, found a saw, and carefully cut off each leg of his bed. Now, his bed was low to the ground, and there was no space for anyone or anything to hide under it. Tom lay down in his bed, and for the first time in weeks, he didn't feel like someone was under or on his bed. He finally felt calm and safe, and he fell into the deepest, most peaceful sleep he had ever had. A few weeks later, Tom was walking through the town when he ran into Dr. Smith. "Hello, Tom," Dr. Smith said. "I haven't seen you at my office. Why didn't you come back?" Tom smiled and replied, "Oh, a good friend helped me fix my problem for just $10. Dr. Smith looked puzzled. "What did he do?" Tom laughed and said, "He told me to cut the legs off my bed." Dr. Smith smiled, realizing how simple yet effective the solution was. And from that day on, Tom slept well every night, and he never worried about someone hiding under his bed again. He often visited Mr. Joe at the cafe, and they would laugh about the whole adventure.